week 177 in the making of the Boomerang album. Today I'm going to feature the very genesis of this record, where it all began. And that was about 1978, 1979, and I was listening to a lot of Bruce Springsteen records. My mom had gone to a concert and brought me a record home from this guy. I think he played the Opry House, and she brought me a record from Bruce Springsteen. I started listening to it. I was previously into like George Benson and the jazz album Countdown and Dr. Demento or whatever was on FM radio, Steely Dan, that kind of stuff. So my mom brought home those records, and I started really enjoying music. But and she bought me a guitar one Christmas, which I have a story about that. I'll tell you another time. But it sat in my room and I didn't do anything with it. I never thought I was musical. But the other thing she brought home was my stepdad, Curtis Lee Conroy. So today I'm going to be talking about that genesis of this record, Curtis Lee Conroy. I did have this guitar sitting around, and he came into my room one day, and I was just messing around, the typical that kind of stuff. And he's like, let me show you something. And he pulled out the guitar and he spent, hours with me teaching me this. So, he taught me that lick, and he preached soul and told me all about all kinds of new music. And I think at some point I would go raid his guitar closet, and he had Gibsons and Fenders and Rickenbackers, and they were all cool, and he'd let me play them. And he had a little Sony two-track sound on sounds recording machine. You could bounce the tracks back and forth, and I learned about how to do multi-tracking recording on that Sony. Just putting a track down and then coming back and playing something over the top of it. And I recorded a lot of stuff that was all junk, but I just would experiment with how to multi-track and bounce files, thanks to Curtis. So he taught me a lot. And and in his own right, he was a musician. He wrote songs, and he wrote a lot of songs about Texas and West Texas and Rio Grande and the life that was there. And somewhere along the road, I had written a song called Jesus Morales, which happens to take place in West Texas. Not really about West Texas, but it happened to take place out there and has that Southwest Texas kind of feel. So I called him up. I said, Curt, would you mind playing and singing on this song? And he said, well, I'm happy to do it, but I don't know if we can make it work. He's in Nashville. I'm here in Maryland. But to his credit, he Googled how to do it. He got his tape machine or his digital recorder, whatever he's got, and he figured it out. And he got my tracks from email, and he listened to them, and he gave me a great performance on this song. That's really he and I, that original, influence. I'd listened to all those songs he wrote about that era. It probably influenced me to write this one, and he and I singing together on it. It was a lot of fun. So, Curtis Lee Conroy, thank you for everything, man. Appreciate it.